catch me is going to probably be the label of the game. As much as possible, we will throw that out as much as possible because SLATE, they don't have anyone that is capable of catching this Fanny at all. This Fanny will be dancing across the battlefield from one wall to another with not too much of a problem. Maybe, just maybe, 1-1 could catch him.
5
I
seconds
don't know
till the
about
enemy
that,
reaches
but
the
I really
battlefield.
hope to see
Smash
that.
I'm a
them.
marksman main, and you're telling me a 1-1 to catch Fanny? I don't
In the
think so,
late
bro.
game?
I don't think so,
Not
ladies and
even.
gentlemen.
Welcome
Ladies and
to
gentlemen,
Mobile
on to
Legends.
game number 4 we go. RSG very close to that trophy. SLATE right here picking up the scraps.
This game, we are definitely gonna be looking at Bray the whole time. He is going to make quite a bit shift if the game does goes very well for him. We are expecting to see more from RSG in this game in the early stages. SLATE, they decided to play a little bit more tanky with the composition that they have had instead of a more damaging composition. I was hoping that they will have more crowd control as mentioned previously, but they tossed that out of the window by picking up an Estes for themselves in order to gain more sustainability in an overall team fight.
Yeah, and the way that JPL plays the Estes is slightly different than how Lozi plays, right? If you take a look how JPL roaming from one point of the map to the other, making sure that the laner stays in lane, and because of that, you are able to make sure that the laners get enough farm. So right here, the win condition is still good. SLATE needs to make sure that they don't give too much in the early game, let them scale all the way to late game, but Bray's already level 4, and he's winning for the win.
Yep, but unfortunately, doesn't really quite have much energy to work with. He did make his way into the face of JPL as well as Sailor. I mean, we pretty much know that Bray can't kill anyone at this point in time just yet, especially on the middle lane heroes. But for now, we'll keep our attention onto the emblems. Most importantly, keep our eyes onto Fanny, which picked up the Festival of Blood onto the Fanny. Definitely not something that I'm expecting at all.
Okay, so this means that the Fanny wants to last in the fight as long as possible, especially when you does have an Estes from the other side. You're gonna try to counter that heal instead of going for the high and dry, which Gear likes to play.
No, there is definitely a vast difference in the way that you would want to play your
Bray,
Fanny.
Bray looking a little bit low right here, but FMM will be the one that goes down. SLATE might need to take this opportunity to go towards that turtle, but then again, it is Bray on that Fanny. Should be able to be there in no time.
All right, of course, I would love to break down about more about the Bray's itemization, such as picking up that Festival of Blood, but I don't have much of a luxury as it seems as though SLATE has managed to put themselves right into the face of RSG, and of course, since Fanny doesn't have his purple buff, he gotta have to give away the turtle in order to secure his own buffs.
Yep, SLATE, perfect timing right there. You know, you take advantage of the fact that Bray needs the purple buff, sneaks away the turtle. That window of opportunity a little bit slim, SLATE squeezes it through.
No problems at all. Now that I've got a little bit of an air time, let's talk about the Fanny, right? Because ever since the patch onto the Fanny's cables is just not as economical anymore. They're not giving me the time.
Lozi, he gets would be suppressing gear, but the burst damage coming off of Sailor is a little bit too much, and now FMM would try to push on the advantage. Takes down 2 members from the side of RSG.
Now, okay, so do I have the time now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so many people would prefer to go for a Fanny that doesn't buy a Bloodlust Axe, that doesn't go for anything that really brings up their survivability, because their energy consumption has been reduced, or rather has been increased. As such, a Fanny can't stay in a fight for too long as compared to an old Fanny. So in this case, most Fannies wants to go in, assassinate someone, and then immediately go out because they just can't sustain, not because of the health, but because of the energy consumption. In this case, Bray is just hoping that he will be able to keep himself available in the fight the whole time, even if he doesn't have an energy, and just keep slashing away in order to have constant and 100% uptime in fight.
You're saying sorry to each other for now, but like I don't think that's any much sorry because Anime will get forced back underneath their turret. SLATE for now. You know, I think they're still not too far away. Remember that 2K is the gold mark, but FIO holding on, and as this ulti walks on by. Preparing to heal Diablo whenever he wants to.
Oh, well, I completely forgot about the fact that the Valentina can just steal the Blessing Moonlight Goddess.
That's a little bit hilarious.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't play in Estes. Does Estes heal actually skill with magic damage?
Yeah, of course he did. It's one thing about, you know, what Bray did. Comes in, jumps on top of the anime when he's got his pants down. But Slate already prepping for that turtle.
Yet another turtle is going to be under the hands of Slate. RSG's Bray is all the way down to the bottom side. They're trying to bring down the turret as much as possible. They're just giving away the turtle for free. No problem, because they're opening up the brushes.
Oh no, the barrage, the gear gets dragged right underneath, gets depleted of HP. Slate, what a trade both these two sides, but RSG will get out of trade in a better position.
I've been asking Lolzy to play the Franco for me. And of course, I'm pretty happy because it has been twice in a row where the Franco is picked. This is the best thing ever. But for now, RSG, they found themselves with a bit of an advantage with a 1,000 goal lead as well as a single kill advantage. But I wouldn't say that it's going to be too big of a difference for now. But when it comes down to lane domination as well as map control, RSG will have a vast difference because of the fact that the bottom lane can be pushed out effectively and Esmeralda is able to roam very effectively. It will eventually be a 5 versus 4 or a 5 versus 3 fight if RSG aggresses.
Firefly don't get baited. Sailor's in there. Oh, that Windtalker will review him and look at Firefly's like, nope, I'm noping out of there.
Yet, indeed, he's noping out of there. Immediately going straight in for the recall. RSG Bray managed to receive his own purple buff. Bray, like I said, he doesn't have the energy consumption. He doesn't really have a lot of energy to sustain the fight, but he still wants to go straight in.
Yep.
Adamir was hoping that he will be able to cut him out, but in the end of the day, it's going to continue or perhaps not.
No, JPL, the ambulance is here to heal Slate back into fighting form, but it's going to be FMM. Oh no, Baby Cake's ringing around the roses, but FMM will be the one to fall.
Continuing the fight, 505 have already used the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess.
Diablo gets swallowed, gets spit all the way up into the wall. Sailor's right here, the burst damage not enough though. You need some sort of consistent damage. But Bray, he's already here. He's actually going to spin away. Disengaging for RSG for now.
It's okay, things are still very much A-okay.
No, it's already 3K.
No, it's still A-okay. Slate still has a chance. They have constantly been able to take the objective and RSG has been giving that up to them. Slate still have a chance to come back for all of that unless RSG is giving them, you know, false sense of, an illusion. You know, false sense of hope that makes Slate constantly try to aggress and challenge the turtle. In which case, RSG, if they really have the lead and if they really have the opportunity, they will do it now.
Yeah, they have to do it now. The ultimate will be used, but it will not connect. Losey jumps all the way back in, will be able to catch Sailor. JPL launches the heal and trying to make sure that Slate stays alive as long as possible. Losey takes a bit of the damage, but the turtle gets going into Slate, unfortunately. As Bray, oh no, he gets going down. He comes in for the re-engage. As Diablo, he's getting caught in a bad spot. 5-4 members, but Diablo, the shields will not be enough. Slate takes the turtle and wins the team fight.
Now that is the answer, ladies and gentlemen, why RSG have not been trying to contest for the turtle. Slate's Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess is undoubtedly one of the pivotal game points for Slate.
FMM, oh my goodness, that one weakness point, that crossbow tank will have triggered. But RSG, if you notice, they have been sneaking all these turrets away. Take a look at Slate's side, at the bottom side. It's all cleaned up, but let's take a look at the replay.
The turtle, of course, went down to the hands of Gear. He did manage to bring it down because of the Dananas Welcome. The fight was split into two. Most importantly, the bottom fight was what we are trying to look out for. Because RSG, they haven't really quite go for such a huge brawl against Slate just yet. And such, they do not exactly they're not exactly able to gauge just how much heal is coming from the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess until now. This is their very first big, overwhelming fight. And because of that fight, Slate has managed to catch up. And it's like I said, you know, they can do it, no problems.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit concerned about Slate. Just take a look at the bottom side. It's really clean up. RSG, there's a lot of split potential, right? With Diablo rotating, you know, you can also use Bray to start pushing. So I think RSG, they do have a chance yet. But let's take a look at the items.
Well, Blade of the Heptaseas as well as Malefic Roar has been picked up by the side of Fanny. So he's eventually just kind of moving away from Bloodlust Axe. So he's still sticking to the same idea that Bloodlust Axe is not going to be a good idea for Bray, but he's using the Festival of Blood as a small little advantage for himself to get the sustainability, because he's not afraid of crowd control anymore. He's more afraid of the burst damage that could happen to him and coming in from FMM, Adamir, Sigila, or okay, not Gear, just literally the 3 other members from SLATE.
But something interesting though, Valentina taking away the autos from the Barats, you should be going in to try to swallow someone up. But swallow the Barats, but it does take some time because usually a Valentina is quite squishy.
But you get defense increase. You increase the defense during the dead as well.
But you're a mage using a tank utility. But hold on a second, I'm looking at Diablo on the minimap right here, trying to sneak. But oh, Lozi figures all the way in. Bray takes out Adamir for now, but Diablo coming in from the behind. But oh no, FMN takes it into the air. It might be a little bit too much, but not only just that. Nom Nom, Diablo goes into the Tum Tum. FMN putting out the damage, but he's taking a little bit too long. Baby Cakes, he's taking real damage. The Lord, he's only got the HP. Gear is still alive right here. Bray trying to look for assassination, but look at how FMM is dancing around. Diablo trying to put out some, and it's Gear that takes down the Lord. And now SLATE will be able to walk away with the prize, sacrificing 3 members.
The Lord immediately emerges up to the top side as RSG unfortunately was not able to take SLATE away from the Lord. As much as they want to do, as much as they're trying to peel, Diablo worked his heart off, trying to peel as much as possible and just drag everyone else away. But that just did not happen.
That's too much screen time for Diablo, man. He's been walking around that Lord's Pit. He's putting himself in front of SLATE, and just take a look. RSG was able to kind of stall down that Lord push, but SLATE will come back up to respawn. Unfortunately, it will go down.
All in all, it really seems as though RSG have a problem with punishing people that has been hooked. Because the mid player is Valentina, and Valentina doesn't necessarily have a very high burst potential as compared to a Kagura, for example. Valentina really pops off when it comes down to damage in the later seasons once she has Divine Glaive and the Holy Crystal. So it takes time for RSG to go up.
Oh, the hook does put in gear, but the man problem is Bray, he jumps all the way in back deep. JPL healing all the way up. RSG will lose the mid lane turret. That hook was still okay. SLATE was able to salvage that.
This is probably going to be a pretty darn long game because whenever Bray tries to go in and assassinate someone, we have a JPL that just immediately says nope and pops the ultimate. And, you know, he have wasted an entire health, entire energy pool just to bring one person down, only for their HP to go back up again. And so honestly, it's really tough for RSG to even make a play here.
Oh, FMM once again, the weakness point does get propped. He kicks it into the air. Lozi will be the one to take the damage. He transfers over the final fight. That's 2 kills over to the side of FMM for now. Bray, where are you going to go? There's no way but back to base. Bray, make up your mind. Go one way or the other.
Well, SLATE outperforming themselves and showing us what exactly they are made of. Like, who needs crowd control? Who needs a Eudora to stun down the Bray?
If I have lots of HP bars.
And I have a lot of damage.
Yeah.
If you can't kill people that have a full health.
Wow, 200%. 200 IQ logic.
Okay,
right
I like that. I like the awkward silence. Yeah, but really. Stunned. I mean, all in all, that is really philosophical. But in the meantime, that is going to be a suppressed down. The rest of the members coming from SLATE is just going to be moving right up onto the backline of RSG.
FMM, he's actually trying to heal out, but it's going to be Diablo that actually takes down most of the damage from the side of SLATE, and it's going to be a little bit too hard for Diablo to hold on. SLATE, the healer of from the side of JPL, too much for RSG.
The purple buff is also gone, and of course, away from the hands of RSG. Fanny no longer has his purple buff, and he doesn't really quite know of that yet. Oh wait, hold on a second. Fanny's actually pushing himself down the bottom lane and trying to go
pure
for
damage control. Pure damage control. He's doing exactly what Diablo needs to do. Split, push, use the cable so that you can be anywhere in the map at any time. But Adamir, he's already reacting. Look at him. He's already down there.
No problems at all. 13 minutes and 14 seconds into the game. We do have the Luminous Lord that's currently available for SLATE. And so far, when it comes down to team fights, SLATE has been impeccable and they have been indomitable. RSG doesn't really quite have an answer to this FMM, and even Bray is unable to touch
and even Gear as well, right?
Even Gear as well.
Lozi has been hooking on top of Gear, and it actually cost them the team fight twice already. So Gear, you know, being that punching bag for the side of SLATE that is desperately needed, Lozi needs to be careful. Which kind of fish is he picking up? He cannot but okay. Lozi goes in, busts down JPL right now. Diablo needs to force the fight. His third Lord is actually a little bit low, but Gear manages to secure the Lord. And SLATE will crush RSG's hopes in taking up this game. Sailor comes all the way back in, busting down Diablo and Adamir. Oh, hello, 2 members. What are you trying to do? Orange buff is now mine.
And of course, Bray is not gonna say no, or rather, he really wanted to go in and do something about it, but he doesn't really quite have the purple buff, and he can only do a single or two cables at a time. It is definitely gonna be tough to sustain with the amount of energy that you have on your hands. So all in all, RSG, you have to play this though. The purple buff once again will go over to the side of SLATE, and once you lose control of your map, once you lose control of the game, it's really tough for your Fanny to perform. But Adamir eventually got picked off. It is going to be a 4 versus 5 game here.
4 versus 5, but it's going to be JPL all the verify. Bray jumps all the way in, will not be able to stand. Bray FMM for now, turret will fall. Diablo looking a bit low. Firefly could also say the same. Baby K trying to up the damage on top of the Lord. Bray is looking for bigger for him, will not be able to find Sailor. Sailor would not be able to be connected by the Iron Hawk. Here, will be able to just walk on by the members of SLATE. They push down the mid lane turret.
Well, what can I say? It is literally gonna... Bray really just went in, right? He went in,
There's not enough damage.
Yeah, a single tornado spin as well as a cutthroat, and you see that Sayla's HP seemingly didn't go down.
Yeah, and that's also the fact that JPL has been bursting healing down. There's not enough burst damage for the side of RSG to burst down anyone at all. Not even FMM, not even Sailor, because JPL is always there.
It is eventually going to be pretty darn tough, right? Because 15 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, RSG still haven't really quite get that spike, or rather that skilling that they wanted. Bray didn't have much choice, but now he had to go for the Athena shield in order to resist the burst capabilities coming from the Yin Yang overturn by Sailor.
But that's a problem. Do you want your Fanny to go in and burst people down? Or do you want your Fanny to outlast that heals coming out from SLATE?
I think that none of them is the answer. Mostly since it really just boils down to the amount of energy that you can have as a Fanny. I will still stick to the fact that you want to go in and be very, very positive that you would want to kill that certain someone. But it's a really tough question, and a very tough question to answer, isn't it? Yeah. Because Bray, no matter how much items that you pick, perhaps you just kind of kill someone instantaneously.
Oh, Adamir will be the one that goes versus the buff, but look at the JPL. He's actually still alive, in fact. JPL, those things of heal, but Firefly will respond with the same. Both these two teams will walk on away. No one dies from that clash.
I really thought that 505 picking the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess would be able to help RSG get a bit more of the sustainability in fight, and perhaps even out-sustain SLATE. But all in all, that haven't really quite happened. There could be a possibility that RSG just isn't exactly close to one another. They're always spacing each other out. SLATE is pretty darn scary when it comes down to AoE, and that's why RSG is spacing. But this is also very counterintuitive if they would want to get the Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess as active as possible.
Yeah, Firefly picking up that Blessing of the Moonlight Goddess is actually quite a smart move, because you really want to fight, sustainability versus sustainability. But Bray, look where he is on the other side of the map. RSG SLATE will start on the Lord for now, but RSG is starting to take down turrets on the side. Diablo will be now coming to join, looking at FMM for now, but the Lord half HP.
It's all about the dance as now Brave literally flew himself right to the back lines. He is able to see where JPL and FMM is, but RSG, they have decided to not take this route. They decided to not get way too aggressive. There is an umbrella right in the face of Losey. He has to be careful because he has been bursted down by Sailor once. So once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah, the Lord will get resetted this time around. You speak about burst damage, Sailor. There's a whole crystal in his arsenal as well. You rest assured, Baby Cake or Bray or even Firefly will get bursted down, but the Lord is already half HP. Ardemir knocks Losey Law airborne, but he's going to be immortality prone. Bray needs to try to fly in to try to trade this away, but Baby Cake's doing the damage around, but the Lord is already a quarter HP. There's no way that RSG will be able to take it. It's JPL to take the Lord! Come on!
Well, what can you expect? When will that eventually happen? But unfortunately, FMM will be continuing onto the team fight against onto Baby Cake. He eventually caught up, but now Diablo, he's going to be buying as much time as possible as he dives himself right behind of SLATE to eventually try to make sure that the rest of our RSG members doesn't go down.
JPL, can you stop breaking records?
They stop doing things that you shouldn't be doing as a roamer.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't make it right. How do you bring down the Lord?
I've seen Ionic Blade stealing the Lord, but I've never seen an Estus taking away the Lord. But now, speaking about the Lord, he's already marching on the waiting on the side of RSG's base. Bray coming out, trying to spin, but not enough damage to push SLATE all the way up. The Lord is a little confused right now, but JPL, he's trying to heal. He's trying to make sure that SLATE trying to stay alive as much as possible. Diablo jump all the way in. JPL, oh, he goes high HP. The Iron Hawk barely misses.
Unfortunately, SLATE did not make quite an impact in either of the lanes in the top and the bottom. All they wanted to do was to go for a GG push. But is that really going to be a matter right now? Nice work coming in.
Suppression, JPL doesn't have the blades. Moon Goddess, this is time for RSG. He'll try to find it back, but Anime, oh, that's a two-man knockup from the side of RSG. And now Bray trying to spin around for FMM. Will not be able to find a new. But the hook goes into Winter Truck as well. We'll be able to send some, but look at JPL with the heal, making sure that his team stays alive and relevant in the fight. And Diablo coming up on the secondary engage will not be able to do it. SLATE fought under RSG's turret and they got away.
The steel cables, unfortunately, just wasn't enough to reach the core in order to get himself right out of the way.
That is crazy.
It is crazy. As such, now, Losi and Diablo forced to defend against these four menacing heroes. Is it even something that they could possibly achieve?
I don't think so, Abstract, because the core is looking very juicy. Taylor busting Losi. What is this Diablo gonna do? There's nothing left. RSG will not be able to hold. Game 4 goes over to Slice.
It is always a seesaw, isn't it? SLATE and RSG, they are
I told you, it's a marathon.
This is so dead even. One win, one team wins, the other team wins the next game. They are just they are just finding answers to one another in different games, and somehow it's just constantly